GONJIAM Psychiatric Hospital, which now stands demolished, is long gone, but certainly not forgotten by people. This hospital opened its doors in 1992, but was also closed soon after in 1996. What happened at this hospital that it became famous as the most haunted hospital? What made this hospital so terrifying that in 2012 even CNN called it one of the world's most scariest places, making it an international destination for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators? The story goes that many of the patients started dying mysteriously at this hospital without any explanation. Some of the staff are known to have gone missing and later found dead in the hospital rooms. It is believed that the owner of this hospital lost his sanity, and he was not just keeping some of the patients prisoners, but he was also killing them. When authorities started looking into this matter and investigating the unexplained deaths of many patients, the owner fled to United States to avoid any allegations. According to the locals, screams were heard coming from the abandoned buildings. Some even claimed to have seen mysterious forms of energies in and around the building. People who visited this place to investigate the hauntings shared their scary encounters. They said they could hear voices, opening and closing of doors, and they even felt cold spots. There is also another version to this story. They say that the doctors were driven to madness while working alongside with mentally ill patients at GONJIAM, and the director took his own life. They say that the director was possessed by a ghost which forced him to kill himself. The remaining ghosts that haunt the place are the ones who were murdered by these doctors. The entire building itself looks very eerie and ghostly. This place started getting visits from many ghost hunters and paranormal investigators when the news about it being haunted spread. It didn't take too long before this became one of the top 3 haunted places in South Korea. South Korean horror film GONJIAM Haunted Asylum was released in 2018. This resulted in even more people trespassing GONJIAM premises. The owner of the property filed a lawsuit against the movie makers to try and stop the movie from getting released and shown in theaters. He said that this movie was spoiling the property reputation even more, and he was finding it difficult to sell it. However, he lost the battle at court and the movie was released. The real reason for the closure of GONJIAM Psychiatric Hospital had nothing to do with mad doctors or murders. The director of this hospital was neither possessed nor committed suicide. In fact, the hospital was shut down because of financial trouble. It is believed that there was a disagreement between the owner and the director of the hospital regarding the installation of a new sewage treatment facility, which had become a legal requirement when Water Source Protection Act was implemented in South Korea. The new treatment facility was never installed and the hospital had to be shut down. Soon after, when the owner of the hospital passed away in 1997, his son took over the ownership of the property, but he never took care of it and never maintained it and left it completely abandoned. The director of GONJIAM Hospital was very much alive when the hospital shut down, and he moved on and opened another psychiatric hospital in east of Seoul. An investigation showed no records of any patients being murdered. In fact, they were all transferred to Yongin Mental Hospital after GONJIAM closed its doors. Although people living around GONJIAM Psychiatric Hospital knew it was not haunted, they faced a different kind of horror. This building, after it was abandoned, had unwanted trespassers all the time. Despite installing security cameras, barbed wires, and putting up legal notices to discourage trespassers, people never stopped flocking at that place. GONJIAM's main gate was located very close to the private residential properties there, And locals who lived there were not troubled by ghosts of the murdered patients, but in fact they were troubled by strangers visiting the hospitals at night. Locals felt very unsafe, and apparently there were also many calls made to the police station reporting break-ins. GONJIAM Psychiatric Hospital was demolished on 28th of May 2018, soon after the Korean horror film was released. The proposals on redevelopment of that site included construction of industrial or villa complex, and there was even a proposal of turning the hospital grounds into a horror attraction, but all these ideas were turned down. After the building was brought down to the ground, it hardly had visitors trespassing the premises. But will the legend die out, or will it live on? Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to click on subscribe and the bell notification. Have a lovely day.